Hey Spence.
Hey Alice, how you doing, brother?
Good. That was quite some work in the past few days and weeks on preparing what we are going to say now, or?
Pretty interesting little period of time, yes, indeed.
Yes.
Finally, the moment is here.
And for everyone else, it actually works when you prepare a conference with someone who you don't see for 3 months now in person. 3 months since we are basically stuck in our homes in what we are, but still here we are. As you have probably got until now, the European Collaboration Summit, our dear little side project that Spence and me and a few other people are running, had to be postponed for October. So whereas we would be happy to be showing such the pictures or being having such the pictures live there, we are sitting here in front of our team's clients and talking about what we are doing next. Yeah, those were the flags. We don't have the flags now. We are the teams. Spence, tell us about Galactic Collaboration Summit.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, you know, predominantly because of the need to postpone the physical event, we decided that we wanted to do something on or around the original dates, you know, for the community, keep everything moving along, not as a replacement for the main event, as it were, but to have something happening, you know, in the June timeframe. And we sort of decided that we would look to do it rather than kind of just sort of repeat the material for the most part. You know, we would look to kind of change things up a little bit and focus in on a couple of key areas. Obviously, we have fantastic support from Microsoft, particularly Microsoft Teams, with the event that allows us to bring to you a selection of their most pertinent product announcements and just general roadmap information as part of the event. Of course, we would have had that at the physical event as well, but it's, you know, slightly changed to be more applicable to what's happening today. And also, we wanted to try and include as many speakers as we could that would, for other, you know, reasons other than global pandemics, weren't able to join us at the Collaboration Summit previously. Obviously, those people are just as much of a part of our community as those who, you know, live locally in Europe and are able to come, you know, much more easily than, say, people who live in South Africa or New Zealand, for example. And of course, there's plenty of other reasons why folks can't make it. You know, we in Europe enjoy, particularly in May and June, very nice weather. That's the people in Europe. You know, I'm in Edinburgh, it doesn't really count, but for everybody else, it's a nice summer. Obviously, other parts of the world, it's their winter time. So very happy to be able to include some of the folks who wouldn't be able to come to Collaboration Summit.
Well, you might not be part of the union anymore, but you are still Europe. Okay, very north, very north Europe. Oh, yeah. I need to plug in shortly here and to mention a few names, both on the Microsoft and community side, which were a huge support for us in these few days, both on work being done or preparing sessions or even technical support. Number one, working with Lori Potmeyer from Teams was being nothing but great as always. From the SharePoint OneDrive group, which is a beautiful cooperation with people like Mark Cashman, like Dan Holm, like Jeff Deeper, who is going to follow up on this very same channel with his keynote just after now. Microsoft has offered really key sessions to what they are doing right now in this moment. I think we have also got a few big announcements. Just if you think about Microsoft 365 lists or the new Yammer. Spence, can you tell us about the Microsoft part of the program? What are we having there?
Yeah, so we have actually a really good cross-section across the board. So we have, as you mentioned, dedicated sessions on Yammer, dedicated sessions on the new Microsoft Lists capability. We've also got sessions on upgrade and migration and platform security across the Microsoft 365 board effectively. And we also have a lot of content on the Power Platform. And we have, in addition to sort of what we could consider to be product group specific sessions, we also have, a lot of other Microsoft speakers at the event. So people like Bob German, Vesa Univan, etc., who are giving additional material as well.
Jeremy Fake talking about
Graph. Exactly, Graph API, what's happening in the, what used to be called the SharePoint framework development space, Teams extensibility. So, the key things that really impact partners and the community in terms of developing solutions on top of Microsoft 365 are covered, along with, also the community flavor viewpoints in all of those areas as well. It was interesting. We didn't have to work anywhere near as hard as we would have had to, or as we normally do for the in-person event in terms of matching up a balance of the content. It really worked pretty easily, mainly because of the support that we had from, the speakers and from, sponsors and Microsoft in terms of being able to cover all of those bases. It's quite interesting to note, given the current situation, how difficult it is for everybody, whether it's they're having to do pull double duty, as it were, with additional work outside of their day job, or it could be just simply that double duty could be anything, right? It could be childcare, it could be doing additional work, it could be, helping on the front line. All of these things are causing people to be busier perhaps than they ever have been before, but yet we've still got an incredible response from the speakers and sponsors and Microsoft in terms of being able to pull it together. And, nobody had any, nobody really had any issues with any of that or made anything difficult for us in that respect. No. So it became very easy to put a balanced agenda together and, to have it cover all of the key targets, if you will, for the Collaboration Summit in terms of content perspectives.
Right. When you mentioned frontline workers, I would really like to mention one thing which is important for me with the sessions on the Galactic Collaboration Summit, is that we have got first person experience hands-on sessions about some of those for first-line worker scenarios. In my free time in the past 3 months, I was helping the school of my son implementing Teams, and I know all the challenges happening, for example, in that area, education. We've got a session from Anke and from Thomas. I have watched that session really with great care, and I would propose anyone, really suggest anyone who is somehow in this edu space, in education space, to watch the session, because both of them were working closely with local schools on implementing Teams, and they are giving the best practices and talking about their experience and everything what they are doing. This is really, in my opinion, one of the very valuable flavors of the Galactic Summit this year.
Yeah, absolutely. That session in particular, and also the one that follows it from Microsoft, which is more around the sort of technical implementation, are hugely important, and not just for childcare, although, or education, whilst that is the sort of primary focus of that session. It's interesting to see that most of the challenges that are non-technical, if you will, apply just as much to every other segment who are perhaps not familiar with working remotely. Obviously, for the likes of Addis and I, this is something that we've been doing as long as we can remember, and it's very easy to be kind of to sort of brush away concerns about it. But this is the other thing that has become very clear, or much clearer, given the current situation, is just in terms of business as well. There's a lot of significant human challenges to making this work well. And I think for everybody, even people who I'm not sure why you wouldn't care about using technology for education, but I'm sure there are people who, for it's less important. But
I'm living in Germany. Let's not get into that topic right now, please.
But yeah, what I'm trying to say is those lessons will be valuable for any field. And actually, even if the session just makes you think about things in a little bit differently about how you might approach trying, for example, let's say if you're in a business that is predominantly staffed by, folks a little bit older than us, you will hit some of the very same barriers. So it's a good session to kind of give you, food for thought in lots of respects. And we have a couple of other sessions in that area as well, which talk about the challenges of using technology successfully to help with this type of situation, whether that be education and just making the wheels turn, but also in terms of first responders and dealing with some of the data-led challenges that they need to make. So it's all, there is a method to the madness with some of the content selection.
There's very much method. I love all the sessions. One last session I want to pick up. I'm just doing this without thinking the session that I was, because I watched all of them in the past few days, trying to post-produce and everything. We have got, everybody remembers that Microsoft has bought Mover.io a few months ago. Mm-hmm. We have actually got the Mover.io founder joining Microsoft's Heini Loza on a migration session. I found that session to be particularly good as well.
Yeah, again, another very hot topic generally, and definitely the right people to be talking about that from a much more kind of pragmatic standpoint. And obviously with Mover being relative, for some people in the community, something maybe they know about, but for a lot of other people, relatively new, and particularly new from a service offering perspective. Yeah, very important if you're involved in any kind of migration or upgrade delivery, that you stay up to date with that stuff. So very happy to have Hani and the Mover guy on board for that.
We mentioned all the sessions we have got. I need to say something from the background stories. We did not plan actually to have much sponsor sessions at all for this one. It was basically, let's do this Galactic and online and with as little fuss. In the beginning, and this is where Spence was hating, in the beginning he wanted to have what, 15, 16 sessions, 20?
Yeah, around
right.
that. Yeah.
We ended up with 60. This is how the things changed. One of the reasons why I think changed is that we have had a great support from our sponsors. And I think everybody in community, and this is a community event the same way Collaboration Summit is community event. We know that the events which are for free or for a very basic price of the catering costs cannot be delivered and produced without sponsors. And we always get a great support from sponsors for Collab Summit, but it was as much great and as much cool to see. And this time we've got 12 sponsor sessions. On the end, those guys have got great raffle prizes to get. There are really things to bring, from Amazon gadgets to Google gadgets. What I find particularly cool, you can actually win a donation to charity of your choice, and plus some Amazon gift vouchers and the stuff. Go to our webpage, you will see all those sessions and the prizes that you are going that you can win, that you're entering the raffle and you can win there. And just the support which we had from sponsors, and not only material and organizational, but also in the support in the level of how much we were encouraged by them to do this, and in the nice words, and in basically, yes, we stand to you guys, was something which was really important to see. For me, that would be, I don't know, Spence, if you have anything else to add, or are we going to drop the bomb now?
No, I think we should do it. We should do it.
Right. So you know that we have, beside European Collaboration Summit, we have had a conference focused on Azure, which is called European Cloud Summit, which was going to happen only 1 week before Collab Summit on the other side of river in Mainz. So for those of you who are not from Germany or don't know German geography, it's all region of Frankfurt, the Frankfurt region, and basically it's one town. Wiesbaden is on one side of the river, Mainz is on the other side of the river. Well, now we decided basically to delete the river and to delete the first week, and to put both conferences together in Wiesbaden on the original Collab Summit days, which is 26th to 28th of October. So everybody who had tickets for a European Cloud Summit can join this big new conference. So Collab Summit had 2,000 people on its own. Until now, Cloud Summit had a few hundred people additional. So we are going to see in October, if everything works well, obviously, watching the whole pandemic situation, we are going to have one huge, large conference where we really hope to see everyone together. Important to notice, all of you who had Collab Summit tickets will be able to join Cloud Summit sessions and vice versa. So this it's going to be a little bit bigger than we have expected in the beginning, with 15 tracks and with everything that's going on, with 15 different full day tutorials. Part of them is going to be focused on Microsoft 365, another part is going to be focused on Azure, but it's going to be one big community celebration in the end of October.
Indeed, yeah, and we will make a program announcement around the individual content elements of that just at the end of the Galactic Collaboration Summit.
Right. What I forgot to say, and I want to say in the beginning, even for Galactic Summit, we had 5,000 plus registered attendees for this online show, which is, I think, quite a nice number to say. But I was really surprised that we had over 500, almost 1,000 on the very first day. Yeah. Registered people. That was a really nice thing. So in the end, today and the 9th of June, we are with 5,000 people on board, and we hope to see you all in Wiesbaden, end of October, 26th to 28th of October, Wiesbaden, Germany, very close to Frankfurt, for our largest tech conference, Microsoft Tech Conference and Community Party in Europe in 2020.
Looking forward to it. What can we do about the weather in October? Is there anything we can do about that?
Did it ever stop us, even if the weather was not good? It has never stopped us, so it's not going to this one. So guys, you can stay in this channel. Jeff is going to join you in just a few minutes.
Thanks for everybody for joining.
Thanks everybody for joining.
Thank you for being a part of the Galactic Collaboration Summit. Join the community and meet in-person world-class Microsoft and MVP speakers this autumn in Wiesbaden, Frankfurt, Germany, with 15 full-day tutorials and over 150 Microsoft 365 and Azure sessions at the combined European Collaboration Summit and European Cloud Summit from 26 to 28 October 2020. Community rocks.